Welcome to your Week 6 edition of Alabama Head to Head. We're hanging out here at the Caliber store. Check them out for all your hunting and fishing needs. I'm Lauren Sisler with AL.com, Jim Dunaway with the JOX Roundtable, and we are cruising right along in this football season.
Yeah, in Homewood today, cruising to the halfway point. Alabama on the road this week, way out in Fayetteville. Well, Danny Sheridan puts Alabama at a 35-point favorite. Think about that. Alabama 35 points favored on the road in an SEC game. I mean, that's pretty historical neighborhood there to be minus 35, a 35-point favorite in a conference game on the road.
So we're going to see if they keep running up that scoreboard, and we'll start with our first segment, ask some of the big questions. We're going 3 and out. Okay, Jimmy, we'll go first down, and I want to know from you, at this point in the season, through 6 weeks, what is your biggest concern about this Alabama football team?
To me is, have they been tested? The answer is no. So when they get into an Ohio State, Penn State-like situation like we saw last Saturday, how will this team respond? Tua looked great in the national championship game last year, but with this being his team in a meaningful 4-quarter game, if that happens, when that happens, I want to see what Alabama does. I haven't seen that yet. That's the only thing I'm worried about with this team. I'm
looking at the kicking game. I think that has been an issue for this Alabama football team. Why can't Alabama recruit a kicker that's consistent? Joseph Bulovas takes over the main kicking job in week 2 of the season. He missed 2 field goals in this last football game against Louisiana Lafayette. Coach Saban said, we could have gone for it on 4th down, but we wanted to give him some confidence. Unfortunately, not the case. We got to see that kicking game pick it up.
Okay, Miss Bulovas on line 2 for you. She wants to speak to you. It's tough being a kicker.
I know. We talked
about
that earlier.
Yeah.
It's a very underrated position, for sure.
Let's do 2nd down. What are you most confident with in this team, the thing you love the most?
Okay, everybody's going to point to the offense, the explosiveness on offense. It's a different dynamic this year, but we'll go back to the defense. I think the defense leading the nation, tied right now for most defensive touchdowns with 3.
For me, it's going to be the quarterback position. We saw Clemson, who was a lot of people, including myself, picked to win the national championship in August, almost lose to Syracuse when they had their veteran quarterback leave the team and Trevor Lawrence, their new guy, get knocked out of the game. They almost lost to Syracuse 27-23. Jalen Hurts stays. He's going to be with Alabama. I'm confident that if Tua went out, Jalen Hurts could win the national championship with this team. I think that's a huge advantage for Alabama down the stretch.
I agree with you on that for sure. We're going 3rd down. Who are you most looking forward to watching from here on out?
Tua, actually, because I haven't seen enough of him. I really feel, I don't know about you guys, but I feel cheated that I haven't seen Tua yet. He's 0 for 0 in the 4th quarter. Last week he was 8 for 8. Ball doesn't touch the turf. I can't get enough. It's like Captain Crunch with that peanut butter flavor. You just eat it and eat it. It tears up the roof of your mouth.
Oh my gosh,
you just
amazing.
keep eating it and eating it, and you pour in your bowl in. You get new milk. You eat it. I want more Tua.
I'm not big on the peanut butter flavor. I guess maybe I've never tried it. The crunch berries though.
Don't hate. I hate the crunch berries.
I'm not a big fan of the crunch berries. I'll try the peanut butter. That sounds good.
The original, the OG, is really good.
Yes,
I like that.
Very good. I love that. Okay, Jim, who I'm most looking forward to after we finish our discussion about Captain Crunch, because that may be what I have for lunch today. I'm going to go with Jalen Waddle, the freshman. He has been extremely impressive in special teams, and I got a little factoid for you. Do you know the last time that Alabama has had a punt return for a touchdown? It was back in 2016. Do you know who had that punt return for a touchdown?
Ooh, I don't. I think of Javier Arenas, but that was way before then.
Way before his time. Eddie Jackson. So that's kind of an interesting statistic. That is seemingly forever ago. But Jalen Waddle, the reference Michael Casagrande gave, one of our colleagues at AL.com, the water bug. Maybe you can explain to me. I'm trying to kind of get a visual of the water bug. Does it just move around a lot?
If you grew up in the South on like a pond, you'll get a water bug. I don't know what it's officially called because I failed 5th grade, but it's one of those bugs and it never goes in a straight line. It moves very fast, but never in the same direction. You know why?
Is that like a defense mechanism?
Yeah, so a fish or a turtle can't eat that thing. You can't make the tackle in the pond if it's moving all the way around.
So Waddle, the water bug. I like it. All right, we're going to our next segment. We are campaigning this week. Tua for Heisman.
Is that a campaign sign?
That is a campaign sign.
I didn't know if we were on the Tua train.
So I think one of the biggest questions, it's a September to remember. Tua Tagovailoa is the favorite to win the Heisman. But my question for you, is it too early to be considering Tua for Heisman? I want to take a look at these stats here. Michael Casagrande pointed this out. His breakdown of stats, 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter, and then as you said before, Jim, no fourth quarter stats. So how is he going to win the Heisman if he's not able to pad out those stats? What are your thoughts on
Well,
this?
Will Greer and Dwayne Haskins, Trace McSorley, they have huge numbers, so you can't just go numbers to numbers. So this is where you pull out your back pocket, your handy dandy cliche pad, and you go, statistics are for losers, right? So you have to use your eyeballs, and you watched your eyeball test, and Tua fits very comfortably in the conversation with those quarterbacks that I mentioned there. And we get to the November to remember at the end, the big games for Alabama, the Mississippi State, the Auburn, then the SEC championship game, which is actually the Saturday before the votes have to come in. Tua has big games at the end, and he's still in the conversation now when you watch everything. All the post-game shows, they're still mentioning Tua. They just say we want to see more of him.
Right now, Tua 5-7 odds to win that. But Dwayne Haskins has gone up against Penn State in that tight ball game. TCU might be the most comparable thing that Alabama's faced in Texas A&M. So I think the conversation will lead us right into October, as you said, November. It'll be exciting to see. All right, final segment. I'm gonna hit them with our picks.
All right, so as I said at the beginning, Danny Sheraton says Alabama's a 35-point favorite on the road in the SEC against Arkansas. Your pick is?
My pick is that Alabama goes in here and wins decisively on the road. I think Arkansas showed a little bit of improvement against Texas A&M. They scored 17 points on the Aggies. I'm going to drop that number down to 10. I got Alabama winning this one 48-10, covering the spread.
48-10. I'm going to keep the magic 50s rolling.
Yeah, okay.
I'll go simply 50-10. Though I feel 45-10 is good. Danny's really good at what he does. I'm going to say 50-10 because it's not an FCS opponent. So Saban will leave that hammer down a little bit longer. 50-10 Alabama.
Alabama. We'll see ya. Can I tell you, though, the best food item that I had in Fayetteville, Arkansas? Are you ready for it?
Yes.
I am drawing a blank on the name of the restaurant, but it was a fried bologna sandwich mashed between two pieces of jalapeno cornbread, baby.
Oh, that sounds good.
Would you eat that?
Yeah, I like
Are you a fried bologna person?
Love it. I don't like the thick cut fried bologna.
This is pretty thick.
I like the thin cut. Where you put it in there and it starts to
rise up.
Yeah.
You gotta like put
can't keep the
crease
edges
in there.
Yeah, you gotta cut the edges.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I like it burning.
I like
the
fried
edges.
bologna. Okay.
All right.
Enough of Captain Crunch and fried bologna.
Let's do the next one.
That's like Choose Your Own Adventure, right? Kind of like one of those Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Like the Oregon Trail.
Oh, I love that. You have typhoid.
Yeah, at the end you die of dysentery.
Oh no. Dun, 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 dun. They had that on the old DOS computer though. Like forget Nintendo. That's like the old RAM. What is that thing? A little floppy disk. You stick in the thing.
You had to stick it in, and you would roll, and you'd have to read your certain color book for the certain day, and you'd read, and then you'd get a chance to play on the
Oregon Trail,
Yeah.
which the screen was like black and then like green lettering on it. Yeah. And I remember the little, what do you call that? What was it? The oxen?
I'm so old though. The Oregon Trail was actually breaking news for me.
This video was brought to you by Caliber, a luxury store in Homewood, Alabama that's reviving the finer things in hunting and fishing.